made a post on social media that bordered on being defamatory, probably libelous. The person was tracked and their identity discovered.
Welcome to Irie News Channel, where you can expect to get cutting-edge news, views, and reviews. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has made a firm commitment to combat the spread of fake news in Jamaica. He stated that the government has the necessary tools to track down individuals who are spreading misinformation, particularly young people who are often behind these activities. Holness discloses that the government has been monitoring cases of politically motivated misinformation and will soon take action against those involved. He emphasized that the government poses the capability to track fake news perpetrators and will soon take measures against those who are using social media for malicious purposes. Speaking at a recent Jamaica Labour Party Youth Empowerment meeting in Ocho St. Anne, Holness warned about the dangers of false information, noting that even well-educated individuals have been deceived by fake news. He pointed out that some educated people are unable to discern the validity of information they receive on their phones, stressing the serious impact of fake news. Holness mentioned a recent incident involving a young man who posted defamatory content about him on social media. He stated that the individual was identified and traced back to a political organization, highlighting that many of these individuals are young and susceptible to manipulation. Holness emphasized the need for young people to use their online presence for positive purposes rather than being misled to spread false information. He called upon the youth to utilize their voices to defend the truth and push back against misinformation, emphasizing that those who spread fake news aim to deceive and gain power.
Long and short, the person was put up to doing this by another political organization. And we have been tracking several such cases where you see some posts being made that border on defamatory or libelous. And when you dig behind, which we have the capabilities to do, and to discover the people behind these accounts, there are young persons being recruited to do this. It is purely out of good conscience that many of them we don't pursue, because they are young people, they are being misled, they are being used for the wrong purpose. They are being used because they are native to social media, they are being used to manipulate social media, to comment on posts negatively, to spread rumors about people, to do some really nasty things. I'm not going to say too much about our capabilities to track it. And we have been tracking. And you're going to see some actions very shortly for those persons who are using social media. Much of what is being done is, in fact, against the law. I want to say to you, the people who have chosen to be a part of the Jamaica Labour Party, the Jamaica Labour Party does not use or endorse the use of social media to attack people's character, to assassinate people's character, to spread misinformation. We have too many good news items, too many achievements that you need to promote without having to resort to attacking people. No, we deal with policies and programs and principles. People who don't have policies, who don't have programs, and don't have principles, they try to attack people. People who don't have good news try to spread bad news. And where there is no bad news to spread, they create falsehoods. There was a time when we would have been silent about this and allow it to go on. But the world in which we live in, the world has never had the capability, as it does now, to create and generate misinformation at a scale and speed that it influences people who are normally rational and reasonable people. It is now at a point where even degreed people, people who have gone to school, studied in the highest institutions of the land, they are not able to discern the nonsense that comes to their phone. They're calling me and asking me if it's true. It's amazing. They don't know that there is an entire industry called fake news. An industry set up just to do that. They call it entertainment. And if you fall for it, them say, but it's not my fault. You know, should I know better? But a lot of people don't know better. A lot of people stay home and they're on their phones or they're watching on their computers. Utter nonsense and rubbish. But they are not able to discern that it is not so. Because as long as they see it on TV or it appears to them on their screen, they take it as fact. But that's not the world in which we live in. Unmoderated information is being presented. Now, there are societies that we look on them and say, these societies are the beacons of freedom. And in those societies, they have recognized the dangers of allowing this kind of unregulated free flow of misinformation to reign. In countries like Canada, for example, even in the United States, they have taken steps through their Senate, through their Congress, through their Parliament, to call in the social media companies and say, listen, we see where your social media platforms have tried to influence our elections. You have to moderate, because they realize it is creating a problem. It is an accelerant for conspiracies. It is being used to mislead and misinform. So I'm saying to you, the young people here today, yes, it's the new platform for information, but you must use it wisely. You must use it with discernment. Not everything that is posted is true. Check, question, and if it is not so, dismiss it. This is not an attempt to in any way dull your voice, but it is now time that you use your voice for the defense of truth. That you must make your voice heard for the defense of truth. And when people put nonsense on social media, you must tell them it's nonsense, not no go so. Because your only intent is to try to trick people to get power. That's it. That is all it is about. Trying to trick people to get power. So we have said to our youth organizations, mobilize. The same way they are using social media and their telephones for evil, led by evil people, we must use that platform and those devices for good. We must publish all the good that we have done. We must promote the good things we have done. We must promote our values, our principles, our programs, and our achievements. So, you are our ambassadors. You are our ambassadors for growth and innovation. And you are our ambassadors for the promotion of the good work.
I do agree with the Prime Minister that something needs to be done about fake news. Fake news is like a plague on the internet today. Persons are no longer fact-checking their information before coming to spread it on the internet, not understanding that there are gullible persons who, once the information was spread across the internet or written in a book, they believe that it must be correct. Yes, persons are spreading fake news for all different types of ill intent. For some persons, it is politically driven, while for some persons, they just want to be malicious. And these activities must stop, as it will not be of any help to our society. However, my question is, how can this be done without persons feeling as if their freedom to rights of expression have been taken away? Does this mean that the government will be targeting only those who are speaking maliciously against the government? Or will the government be using this as an excuse to attack vloggers such as Politics Watch, Popeye News Link, On the Spot News Video, and MyView TV? Because at one point or another, all these vloggers have been accused of carrying information that would have been defaming person's character. Is the Prime Minister using this move as a subtle way to silence them? After all, these vloggers at one time or another have been accused of aligning themselves to a particular political party. What if the Prime Minister's commitment to combat the spread of fake news in Jamaica is politically driven? What if he's using this as a strategy to silence those who speak out against him, such as Queen Ifrica, Foota Hype, and others? No, I'm not saying that the Prime Minister's commitment to combat the spread of fake news is wrong. I'm just saying that people need to think, and things are not always what they seem. I believe that persons are to take personal responsibility for the things that they put there on the internet, knowing that not everyone is able to identify credible news. Vloggers need to fact-check their information and not try to be the first one to let it out there, because if your news is not credible, it doesn't make sense that you release it. Now, the Prime Minister emphasized that they possess the capability to track fake news perpetrators and will soon take measures against those who are using social media for malicious purposes. While I applaud this development, I believe that this type of capability would be better suited to track perpetrators of heinous crimes. Because as is right now, there are numerous persons caught on camera breaking and entering, stealing and committing all sorts of unaliving, and there are no way of identifying them. The police will tell you that they have limited intelligence in catching these persons. Yet the government is investing time and resource to track fake persons who are malicious news on social media. A lot of people are going to see this as the Prime Minister misplacing resources and having a political motive. I am in no way condoning fake news, and I believe that persons need to have civic pride and not go on the media cursing out the Prime Minister and all the persons who are part of the government because they are disgruntled. However, I believe that the same vigor that is being used to sort after these persons should be mirrored when it comes on to catching criminals. That's just my 2 cents. That's just what I have to say. And if there's anything that you'd like to add or anything that you'd like to disagree with, please feel free to make your comments in the comment section.